Learn English through story. The whispered passion. In the heart of a city that never slept, where ambition pulsed through the veins of its inhabitants like a rushing river, there was a quaint little bookstore named Whispers of the Heart. Its narrow aisles were lined with dusty tomes, and the scent of aged paper mingled with the warm aroma of freshly brewed coffee from the small cafe tilde copyright tucked in the corner. It was a haven for the dreamers, the romantics, and the lost souls searching for solace among the pages of forgotten stories. Emma Sinclair, a 30-something librarian with a penchant for classic literature, had been working at Whispers of the Heart for 5 years. Though she loved the world of books and the comfort they provided, her own life felt like a novel with the most uninspiring plot. Her days were routine, filled with organizing shelves and helping customers, while her evenings were spent alone, lost in the pages of a book that promised a love story far more exciting than her own. One rainy afternoon, as the soft patter of raindrops against the window created a cozy ambience, Emma was arranging a display of romance novels when the door swung open with a soft chime. A man entered, shaking droplets of rain from his umbrella. He was tall, with tousled dark hair that framed his face and a pair of glasses that accentuated his striking blue eyes. His presence filled the small space with an inexplicable warmth. Emma's heart skipped a beat as their eyes met. She quickly looked away, pretending to be engrossed in her work, but she could feel his gaze lingering on her. "Excuse me," he said, his voice smooth like velvet. "I'm looking for a book on poetry, something that speaks of love but also of loss." Emma's breath caught in her throat. "We have a lovely selection of poetry in the back," she replied, trying to sound professional, despite the fluttering in her stomach. "Lead the way," he said with a charming smile that made her cheeks flush. As they walked together, Emma couldn't help but steal glances at him. His name was Noah, she learned as he perused the shelves. He was a freelance writer who had recently moved to the city, and he had come to the bookstore seeking inspiration for his next piece. Their conversation flowed easily, as if they had known each other for years. Noah shared snippets of his life, his passion for storytelling, and his dream of capturing the essence of love in his writing. Emma found herself opening up in a way she hadn't in a long time, sharing her favorite authors and the profound impact literature had on her life. "Books are the whispers of the heart," Noah said, his eyes twinkling with enthusiasm. "They reveal truths we often keep hidden, don't you think?" Emma nodded, feeling a connection spark between them. "Absolutely. They allow us to experience passions and emotions we might not otherwise have the courage to explore." As the rain continued to fall outside, they found themselves lost in conversation, the world around them fading away. It was as if time had forgotten them. The chemistry between them was undeniable. A magnetic pull that drew them closer with each shared laugh and lingering glance. "I'd love to hear your thoughts on my writing," Noah said, his voice lowering to a conspiratorial whisper. "Would you be willing to read some of my work?" "I'd be honored," Emma replied, her heart racing at the thought of their lives intertwining further. Over the next few weeks, Emma and Noah became inseparable. They spent countless hours in the bookstore, discussing literature, sharing their dreams, and exploring the city together. Every moment felt electric, charged with an unspoken desire that hung in the air between them like a sweet fragrance. One evening, after a particularly spirited discussion about the complexities of love in literature, Noah took Emma's hand, his fingers warm and reassuring. "I've been meaning to ask you something," he said, his voice low and serious. "Would you like to join me for dinner this Saturday? I know a place that has the best views of the city skyline." Emma's heart raced at the invitation, the thrill of possibility washing over her. "I would love that," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. As Saturday approached, anticipation filled the air. Emma spent hours choosing the perfect outfit, a little black dress that hugged her curves and made her feel beautiful. When the evening finally arrived, she felt a mix of excitement and nerves as she made her way to the restaurant. Noah was waiting for her at a candlelit table on the terrace, his face lighting up with a smile when he saw her. The city stretched out beneath them, twinkling like a sea of stars. As they enjoyed their meal, conversation flowed effortlessly, the chemistry between them palpable. After dinner, as they strolled through the city streets, Noah suddenly stopped, turning to face her. "Emma," he said, his voice serious, "there's something I need to tell you." Her heart raced, a rush of fear and excitement swirling within her. "What is it?" "I've been writing about you," he admitted, his eyes searching hers. "You've inspired me in ways I can't explain. There's a passion within you that I want to capture." Emma felt her cheeks flush. "Me? Why?" "Because you bring the stories to life. You make me want to write again, to dig deeper into the emotions I've kept buried. I want to explore this connection between USA, this whisper of something more." In that moment, under the soft glow of the streetlights, Emma felt a surge of hope. She had spent so long living in the shadows, afraid to embrace her own desires. But here was Noah, offering her the chance to explore a connection that felt so real, so vibrant. "Do you really think there's something between us?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "I know there is," he replied, stepping closer. "I can feel it in every word we share, every glance we steal. It's a passion that shouldn't be ignored." His gaze was intense, and Emma's heart raced. In that instant, she made a choice. She stepped forward, closing the distance between them, and pressed her lips to his. The kiss was electric, igniting a fire within her that she had long suppressed. It was a whispered promise, a declaration of the passion that had been building between them. When they finally pulled away, breathless and wide-eyed, Noah smiled. "I've been wanting to do that since the day we met." Emma laughed softly, the sound filled with relief and joy. "Me too." As the days turned into weeks, their relationship deepened. They spent evenings writing together, sharing their dreams and fears, and exploring the city hand in hand. Emma felt alive for the first time in years, her hidden desires blossoming like the flowers in her bookstore. But as their passion grew, so did the whispers of doubt. Emma had always played it safe, sticking to the rules, and the intensity of her feelings for Noah frightened her. What if this was just a fleeting moment of passion? What if she ended up hurt? One evening, while they were curled up on the couch reading poetry, Emma hesitated before speaking. "Noah, do you think this is real, or are we just caught up in the moment?" He paused, looking thoughtful. "I think it's real, Emma, but only if we are both willing to embrace it fully. Love and passion are risky, but sometimes, the greatest rewards come from taking the biggest risks." Emma sighed, the weight of her fears pressing down on her. "I've never been good at taking risks. What if it all falls apart? Then we'll pick up the pieces together," Noah said softly, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "But we can't let fear dictate our lives," His words resonated with her, and in that moment, she realized that she had to let go of her fears. They were just whispers, trying to hold her back from embracing the passion that was waiting for her. However, as time passed, their love story faced challenges. Noah's freelance career began to demand more of his time, and he often found himself buried in deadlines. Emma, while understanding, couldn't shake the feeling of loneliness that crept in when he was absent. She longed for the connection they had shared, for the whispered words and soft touches that had once filled her days with warmth. One rainy evening, as she sat in the bookstore, she received a text from Noah. "Can't meet tonight. Work is crazy. I'm sorry." Her heart sank. She had hoped for a night spent together, a chance to reconnect. Instead, she felt the distance growing between them like a chasm that threatened to swallow her whole. Emma replied, her fingers trembling over the screen, "It's okay. I understand." But inside, she felt the whispered passion beginning to fade, replaced by doubts and insecurities. Was their connection strong enough to withstand the pressures of life, or were they simply two souls drifting apart, pulled in different directions by their ambitions? The next day, Emma decided to confront her feelings. When Noah came into the bookstore that afternoon, she could see the exhaustion etched on his face. "Hey," she said softly, a hint of worry in her voice. "How's the writing going?" "Crazy," he replied with a half-hearted smile. "I've been working on a big project, and it's consuming all my time." "I miss you," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "I miss us." Noah's expression softened, and he stepped closer. "I miss you too. But this is just a temporary phase. I promise I'll make it up to you." Emma nodded, but inside, she felt the whispers of doubt growing louder. She longed for more than just promises. She wanted to feel the fire of their passion rekindle. As the weeks turned into months, Emma and Noah navigated their busy lives. They still found moments to share, but the spark that had ignited their relationship began to wane. Emma felt the walls she had fought so hard to break down starting to close in again, and with every passing day, her heart grew heavier. One evening, as Emma stood in the bookstore, rearranging the displays, she felt a familiar presence behind her. She turned to find Noah watching her, his expression unreadable. "Can we talk?" he asked, his voice low and serious. "Of course," she replied, her heart racing. They sat on a bench in the park, the air thick with tension. "Emma," Noah began, "I've been thinking a lot about us." Her heart sank, fearing what he might say. "What about us?" "I feel like we've been drifting apart, and I don't want that to happen. But I also don't want to hold you back from pursuing your own passions. I've been so consumed with work that I'm afraid I've lost sight of what really matters." Emma nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "I feel it too, Noah. I've been scared to say anything, worried that we might break apart completely." He took her hands in his gaze intense. "We can't let fear dictate our relationship. I want to be with you, but I also want us both to grow individually. We need to find a balance." His words resonated with her, and she realized that she didn't want to stifle his ambitions, just as she didn't want hers to be stifled. "I agree," she said, her voice trembling. "But how do we do that?" "We take it one day at a time," he replied. "We carve out moments for each other, even amidst our busy lives. We can't lose what we've built." With a sense of renewed determination, They agreed to work together to find a way to keep their passion alive. They would prioritize their time together, but also respect each other's pursuits. In the following weeks, Emma and Noah made a conscious effort to reconnect. They planned date nights filled with laughter and joy, and they began to share their writing with one another, creating a space for vulnerability and creativity. Their conversations grew deeper, and the whispers of doubt began to fade. One evening, while they were cooking dinner together, Noah turned to her, a playful smile on his face. "You know, I wrote a little something inspired by you." "Really?" Emma asked, intrigued. "Let me hear it." As he recited his poem, she felt her heart swell with pride. His words captured the essence of their journey, the whispers of passion that had guided them through their challenges. In that moment, Emma realized that love was not just about the highs and the lows, it was about navigating the in-betweens, the everyday moments that strengthened their bond. After he finished, she smiled brightly. "That was beautiful. You have such a way with words." Noah stepped closer, taking her hands in his. "And you inspire me to find those words. You bring life to my stories." Emma felt the warmth of his gaze and knew, without a doubt, that their whispered passion had been reignited. They had learned to embrace their individual journeys while also nurturing the love that had blossomed between them. Months passed, and Emma and Noah continued to grow together, both as individuals and as a couple. Their love was no longer a fleeting passion, it was a steady flame that warmed their hearts even in the most challenging times. One sunny afternoon, as they strolled through the park, Noah stopped to look at Emma, his eyes shining with excitement. "I have an idea," he said, taking a deep breath. "What if we collaborated on something together?" Emma raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "I want to write a book, a collection of poems and stories that reflect our journey together. I want to capture the whispers of passion we've shared, the ups and downs, the moments that have made us who we are." Her heart raced at the thought. "That sounds incredible. I'd love to be a part of that." As they brainstormed ideas, Emma felt a renewed sense of purpose. Together, they would create something beautiful, a testament to the love they had nurtured through the storms. As the seasons changed and the city transformed, Emma and Noah poured their hearts into their collaboration. They spent countless hours writing, sharing their vulnerabilities and dreams, and exploring the depths of their connection. Each page was filled with the whispers of their passion, a narrative of love that resonated with anyone who dared to listen. Finally, after months of hard work, their book was completed. They stood together at a small launch event in the bookstore that had brought them together, surrounded by friends and family, and the warmth of the community that had supported their journey. As Emma stood before the audience, holding their book in her hands, she felt a swell of gratitude. This book is not just about love, it's about the journey we take to discover ourselves within that love. It's about embracing the whispers that guide us, even in the face of doubt. Noah joined her, his eyes reflecting the pride and love they shared. "We hope our story inspires others to embrace their own passions, to navigate the complexities of love with open hearts." As the applause echoed around them, Emma felt the weight of her fears lift away. She had learned that passion, when nurtured and respected, could blossom into something beautiful, a whispered promise of love that would endure the tests of time. And in that moment, surrounded by the warmth of their community and the love they had cultivated, Emma knew that their journey was just beginning. Together, they would continue to explore the whispers of their hearts, guided by the passion that had brought them together and would carry them forward into the unknown future. Years later, as Emma and Noah stood hand in hand, watching the sunset paint the sky with hues of orange and gold, they reflected on their journey together. Their book had touched the lives of many, and their love story had become a testament to the power of embracing desire and vulnerability. "Do you remember the first day we met in the bookstore?" Noah asked, a playful smile on his lips. "Of course," Emma replied, her heart swelling with fond memories. "You were looking for poetry, and I was terrified to speak to you." "And now look at us," he said, pulling her closer. "We've turned our whispered passions into a beautiful life together." Emma smiled, leaning her head against his shoulder. "Yes, and I wouldn't change a thing. I've learned that love is not just about the grand gestures, it's in the whispers, the everyday moments, and the willingness to take risks." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over them, Emma knew that their whispered passion would continue to guide them, reminding them to embrace life fully and cherish the love they had fought so hard to create. Together, they would write the next chapters of their story, hand in hand, heart to heart. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you enjoyed, then please like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.